Penny Morel, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You too, Betty.
Oh, I thought that you had met Penny. Penny's been here a couple of times. before.
I guess. I don't think.
I completely forgot it last month. I'm like,
You know.
can't believe I did that. Oh, so
There's a lot
mad.
going on right now, so
Huh?
I said there's a lot going
He
on.
is so
and-
happy.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to the prom?
I'm so
Okay.
happy.
Did you guys go to the prom? Either one of you?
No, no, because I don't play pickleball, so, and I don't have a date. I'd look like a,
Well,
I'd be like in high school, the wallflower sitting on the side when nobody asks her to dance.
yeah.
I don't
me
think
too.
you need someone to ask you to dance. You'd be up there dancing.
Oh,
I wanted to go, I didn't want to spend the $75.
well, we could have gone as a couple.
We could have, yeah.
Why did you go, Betty?
No, my husband who plays pickleball didn't want to go, so.
He didn't want to go?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how many went. I'd love to see
I don't know.
My
pictures.
mother had her
That her-
alumni banquet in Dixfield, so
What's
That's
that?
where you were.
alumni banquet in Dixfield for my mother, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Mother?
Sarah.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I usually just pick her up because I had to work half the day because we were open that day, so. Yeah, at the school.
I know Sarah had posted about it, and she's showed the decorations and everything, but I don't know who, and I know Vivian who plays pickleball. I think she was, well, I don't know if she was away or not, but I don't know who went, but hopefully they had fun.
Yeah,
But I
I
didn't
hope
have.
they had a good
We
turn.
could have, we could have,
We could have had fun, yeah.
Do you like to dance?
I do like to
There you
dance.
go.
We
could-
danced at the Christmas
That's
party.
right, walking
I
around the
love to
Christmas
dance
tree.
too, and my
Yeah.
husband does not.
Well, there, I have dates if I wanted to.
Next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
There's always next year. All right, we'll get the meeting started. So, do you want to do the minutes, Penny?
sure.
I did not get the minutes done for the June 2nd meeting, so we've had a lot of different things going on and all those extra special town meetings and.
That's okay.
Is that something is it on?
It's on the YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
Lorna uploaded it, but I just did
What
not
was the
get.
date?
Oh, my goodness. Did we meet a week later then?
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
find
that we
it.
did. It was June 2nd, June 2nd.
Okay,
Okay. All right, so Penny,
Yep.
all right, a follow-up on the craft days. I don't know if we really have anyone here, and I don't see anyone in the waiting room either.
This has nothing to do with craft days, or this has nothing to do with anything actually. Who's still on our committee? Is
Yeah.
Richard and Mayanne both still on? it?
Leanne is no longer
She's
on the
not-
committee,
okay.
she opened up a business, so
Okay.
she's running the business, she gave her resignation, but I know we announced that. in the
Yeah,
meeting,
yeah, okay,
so-
I just forgot.
Yeah,
Richard's.
Richard's still on
Yeah.
it, so I did not hear from him today, but in all honesty, it was so busy in here, I never.
And it's a
checked.
different week, so he may just have forgotten.
Is-
Who was the-
Oh, besides him, I'd have to go get the list.
Oh, Eric
So-
Hoagland, but he's only
Eric's-
been to one meeting.
Who was the guy that came
I
for
think
the
when we-
Christmas party and he brought cookies? Who was that
That's
gentleman?
Richard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He seemed
I
very
kept
nice.
your agenda in my inbox this time, plus I put it on the calendar.
And I think when we switch at, meetings, and I'm sorry, I was off, and I was just like, oh, do I wanna come in?
No, I think it's fine, but I think when, yeah.
Yeah, when we switch at meetings, I think people get lost in that. So anyway, at the last meeting though, we did talk about, the grad days and the current group wanting to
Yeah,
limit,
yes.
and
And I
did
was gonna do a
ask-
policy and I have not done
Okay, cause I did ask for some suggestions on how we should proceed with that, just because. I think that we should be inclusive and not exclusive, for Penny. Maybe, so. Right now, if they do more than 10. It becomes a problem.
You're talking Tuesday mornings?
No, I'm talking Thursday mornings at the
Press.
North Belgrade Community Center.
Thursday.
They don't want any more than 10 on Thursdays.
Yeah, about 10,
The instructors have.
I can understand that, I guess.
but the thing is, it's the same 10 over and over.
Yeah.
So it's kind of become a very cliquey group. and people have gone and they've been turned away because there wasn't enough, craft
Oh,
projects.
yeah.
So I asked, if, people could think about coming up with a policy, how do we manage this? How do we help them manage it? Because we want to keep the people that are there doing the work. And, I know that Kristen has been going and setting up tables, because we had a complaint that the tables were heavy to set up, and then cleaning up, so, anyway, if you wanna still pursue. if
No
anybody
one
has-
had any input, did they? No,
I have no input.
yeah, cause I was gonna draft something, it would be very rough,
And
just
how
a
would you,
policy and then
how would
Betty
you
had
phrase
offered
that?
to,
I mean, how would we do that to say, how would we do that?
I don't know, except.
Because you're trying to bring more people in. But yet,
you can't have
but
10.
yet you have your select group that is already there, so how is that gonna, how would you even? I don't know.
Well, that's what I wanna listen suggestions, because. That group is very close and they've been working together for the most part, most of them.
Who's
For,
heading up crafts now? Now that,
Ann Greer is doing it, but I would think that Jean Perkins is also participating.
yeah,
I said something to them about maybe having a sign up sheet, so you knew how many people were coming. And then, I get a lot of emails. About it, and, the people that are doing the teaching want to be able to do the craft too, but they can't because they're so busy teaching. So. How do we juggle? How do we manage? How do we
Are the
help them?
teachers included in the 10?
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah,
So there's basically only that one lady in Jean Perkins that are the teachers.
right, because Karen got done.
Right.
And she's moving back. Anyway, so
Hmm.
she'll be gone completely. Christine Pillsbury.
Yeah.
Christine, sometimes she does some teaching too. So we have
Where's
this,
Karen moving away from here?
yeah, she's selling her place here and she was, gonna go back.
From North Carolina.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, for good. So
Who's Karen?
Karen McFadden,
Okay.
she was one who actually got the craft group going
Oh.
and started up.
And the pickleball.
And the pickleball.
Really?
Yeah,
And she's leaving?
yeah, so,
Hmm.
Hi there.
hey there, Eric,
Wow.
welcome.
Who's this? Is this Richard?
There's a chair right there too,
Yeah,
and
just
an
put
agenda
chair on.
right there.
Richard?
Yeah, and there's a,
Hopefully.
So do you think that, considering the two teachers are involved, counted as the 10, do you think that we could up it to 12? And that way, you're not, you're
I know.
opening up 2 more positions?
Why only 10?
But,
Because that's
and
what they
should it be the
handle.
same 10? When people go and they get turned away, is that right? I
No.
mean, this is paid for by tax dollars and
Mm.
everybody's tax dollars and.
I think you'd start. a
Being
little bit of-
inclusive and not exclusive is. I think what we should be looking at, but I asked for some suggestions on how to manage. So Kim is going to try to throw some policies together, but if anybody else has any suggestions, I mean, I have quite a number of emails and I know that Kristen, like I said, has been trying to help out when she drives by to go to work by setting up the tables anyway, so therefore eliminating, them having to set up heavy tables.
What time is it?
9 to noon.
But those 10 that are diligent in going to crafts on Thursday, it would be kind of hard to say to them.
Can't come because we need new people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you don't wanna upset the apple cart, so to speak, and not have them come and maybe doing something on their own. I don't know. I don't know how you do
I
that.
don't know, but I'm looking for suggestions on how to manage that.
Let me throw this out. If we had, let's say Jean Perkins here on this side of the room with 10, and then
That other lady, I don't know her.
Eric Hogland over here with 10,
And
doing a
maybe-
different project.
No, you can't do that. They all have to work on the same project.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
They all do. work
I
on the
think you
same
need to be on the
project,
same project.
But
But what I'm saying is the problem is you can't handle more than 10. So if you had two different projects, you could have 20 people. Just
But the
throwing it out
problem is
there.
getting the people to volunteer to teach it.
Well, you've got two.
because they take turns on
Yeah.
different weeks.
Mm,
So we've got Ann Greer, Christine Pillsbury, and Jean Perkins, and Jean leaves in December.
Yeah.
So she's gone, she doesn't come back till April, I think it's April.
Yes,
But, anyway, any suggestions would be good.
are the emails that you're getting about that?
Quite a few,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
From the people that can't,
for the people
They've
that
heard
want
of
to
it.
be exclusive.
from the people that wanna be exclusive.
oh, the people that wanna keep it the way it is, not from the people who have been turned away.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Well,
Right
I've gotten phone calls from the people that were turned away, so.
That's
Well, it is.
not a
fun.
pretty place to be, is it?
No, it's
No.
not. But anyway, any suggestions that anybody can come up with, how we can manage this,
and Kim, I told
and
you. I
moving
think-
forward.
Yeah,
Work with-
yeah, and anyone thinks of anything, they can email me, give me ideas.
Yeah,
You answer your emails.
Well, it's not fair the way it is now.
I don't read my emails, but you can email me.
Much.
That was a joke.
How about the girls that are teaching them? Can they come up with some ideas?
Well, they're the ones that wanna keep it,
Mhm.
Oh, keep it,
Exclusive.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can, they know the situation?
Yeah.
Oh, I think several of them have been in on it as well as Kristen, because Kristen's trying to help to
Yeah,
how we work this out. Because they wanted new tables, something lighter.
Oh, jeez.
Well, they are hard to
So-
manage.
Well, I know they are heavy. I mean, you and I lifted, you were on one end, I was on the, it takes two. They are heavy.
Well, she can do it herself,
Yeah,
but
well,
I can't.
I can't either. So, I mean, yeah, they are heavy. But you know, can't keep asking for money for new tables. I wouldn't think.
Well, we
They
got our
weigh-
TV up there and other people are using that on a regular basis.
But then
that was
where you
supposed
The
to be off.
TV is being used? Cause we were keeping the remote, we were keeping it locked.
Yep, and there were some duplicate keys made and. Yep,
Well, who has the right to do that?
well, they were given permission,
By
so,
who?
well, I'm not gonna go there because it's somebody that works for the town.
Oh, that surprises me because we were keeping that credential locked, but the keys
Yep, the
were in
credence-
another.
The credential was locked, and I know that the craft group is actually using it because they've been unplugging a lot of the wires, which has caused some problems up there with telephone and different things, so. So I'm not sure, I mean, there's a few little things going on, so.
Mm.
But yes, so. The TV is being used.
Hmm.
By the fire department and rescue
bank?
right now, they've been given permission, so,
the fire department?
yeah,
Is
for
using it?
some training.
Oh, for training. What about the food bank? That's still up there?
Yeah, they don't use that, yeah, they're not using the TV or anything.
Oh,
so,
no, but they're
Yeah.
using the building.
Yeah, they use the building,
Yeah.
so. So anyway,
Oh, but the fire department uses.
share my
the-
world with you guys.
So that's interesting to know. There's multiple keys out there.
Yep, keys were made and I was not made aware. I was not happy when I found out, but, anyway.
Yeah, because I had to get the key from you to use it for the cooking thing. And my
Yeah,
understanding
no,
was,
the keys, these are keys to get into the credenza, because we have everything locked up. Because we do, that's the TV that was purchased by the Senior Resource Committee. And,
for the.
Yeah.
Movie thing,
right,
Mm.
right,
and we're not even doing that right now.
no, we're not. But,
Mm.
okay, moving on, the senior walk, has anybody been doing that?
That's been going well. And
still
now,
doing
we're
it?
now outside.
Yeah.
We didn't, I didn't go today. A lot of people did not go because it was the 4th. They've got things to do, but we're outside now.
Okay,
Yeah, it's going well
okay, and I think we did this in last, but where are you meeting?
at Pam Prescott's house.
Pam Prescott, so we'll get that in. So the botanical gardens trip. So I went on that, it went really well, everybody was very happy, it was just enough time, I think we left there about 2 o'clock and stopped for ice cream on the way back home. We did get some donations, I think there was a $50 donation for the Senior Resource Committee. And then a $200 donation, I think I mentioned that before, was made for the bus trip, which allowed some people that may not have attended to go.
How many
because of
people
the
went?
cost. So it ended up being 26.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that good? Is that a good
Well, the
number?
bus holds 52,
Oh.
so it's half of,
Oh, really?
yeah. So the $200 we put towards the bus trip, because the bus was $1,700.
Mm,
So that brought the cost down, and the recreation department actually picked up the cost of the bus.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And Dan did that last year too, so he picked up the cost.
Who did?
The
Dan.
former recreation director, Dan
Mackenzie. No,
No.
Michael Ashen.
last year.
Yeah.
He didn't pay that out of his pocket,
No.
but
It's recreation department.
He was the recreation director back before Kristen came.
that did it, decided. Okay.
But that went good. I did not stay for the whole plant swap. Somebody that stayed, want to report on it, Betty or
Yeah.
Kim?
It, not too many people showed up. There weren't too many from the committee here that showed up. I think this was you, Kathy, who else came? Charlene came, yeah.
That was a week of senior stuff for me, so I couldn't do anything.
That's okay.
I think that was it. I think it was Kathy and Charlene and you and I think.
Yeah, and it was not well attended. So I personally, I don't think I'd do it again.
I also think it's late,
I think you have to,
you know,
in May.
June, June, the first weekend in June, I think it's late.
Well, I noticed on Facebook that like, Oakland Church was having a plant, there were a lot of
There were a
plants, lot of plants there, so-
Yeah, we weren't even selling though. We were just
Giving.
giving them
Yeah,
away, you know,
yeah.
to anyone that wanted them.
And Dr. Danner actually came over with a load of
Compost.
Oh,
so
nice.
that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And I know, because I saw him like the week or two later. And I said, thanks for the compost. He says, well, it was all gone. And then I found out somebody had brought a truck
Yeah.
and she loaded it all up in
Yeah.
our truck.
Yeah.
Wow,
So I says, well, you know, I took a bag, but.
and that was all for free?
It was all for free.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and it was nice of him, and he actually saw the posting, so that's why he came over, he was looking for some veggies, seedlings.
I thought about sending him a thing. Oh, I forgot to bring tech notes. But I didn't know his last name or his address.
Yeah, Dr. Danner, and he is,
Is it too late to send him something now?
no,
He's on Pleasant Street, isn't
is
he?
it New England Animal
And-
Hospital in Pleasant
Yeah,
Street
oh,
in Waterville?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you send it to that address there, if you Google it, I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, it's the
Exactly.
one just as you turn
Yeah.
on Pleasant Street.
He's a very nice man, so.
Well, I got peppers and scallions and they're looking fabulous, so.
Did you pick up the ones that, I brought in to you?
Yeah, we had those.
Yeah, I brought those
Did those
over,
go?
and those are from Gail. but I
Gail,
got-
yeah.
Yeah,
Did somebody take the sunflowers?
I remember something.
Did she have sunflower plants?
she did. And
I don't think they ever showed up.
were they part of the whole, because I brought that whole basket. Did Charlene
remember
take
seeing
them
them.
I
initially?
don't remember seeing sunflowers either.
Well, there were 3.
There, yeah, 3.
But we only had 3 people from the public, maybe?
2 or
4?
3.
Yeah, and there wasn't many people.
When
I
people
mean,
came and found out we didn't have really vegetables, like they were looking for, so they
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
There were only 2 others, because we had the basket to give away,
Right,
door price.
And did we
There
send
were only two people there and,
a thank you note to Longfellow's?
oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to rethink that.
So, yeah, if we're gonna do it again, I mean, if we are gonna do it again, I think we need to do it the weekend earlier, maybe.
Well, maybe,
Or,
but in
Okay.
May,
maybe even 2 weekends early or something.
Okay. Right, and I still haven't been able to meet with the Board of Parks and Rec, talking about coordination of some of our programming and things. I did talk to Kristen about, we have people that are interested in games, we have people that are interested in chess. We have people that are interested in those kinds of things, and she's actually had some inquiries herself, and we don't want to duplicate anything. And I think coordinating our events, because we're a small group, and it's easier for them down there to get something going. I noticed some of the things that they started to get going, though, there's a fee. So that, there's a fee.
okay,
So that may be a deterrent for some seniors, because, everybody's living on fixed income, well, most. So anyway, I still want to meet with them, talk about things a little bit more, see if we can get a couple of free programming events going down there, so.
What are they charging for? A fee?
Oh, they just have different things different programs that they're
Yeah.
running, that there is a fee. So,
Are you talking games? I think I heard you say games like,
games,
Yeah.
chess, that she's had inquiries for, a chess night.
We tried-
Inquiries for a bingo night.
we've tried a couple of times, to get games going, and nobody shows up.
how about cribbage?
And cribbage. We've got tons of cribbage boards too, because we got tons of them donated. So it's getting somebody to actually, I'm working, Kim's working, everybody's busy, so it's,
And would this be up to North Belgrade, or would it be because the lakes is gonna be busy this summer, and
it is busy this summer.
Are you saying that more people going or participate in the games and go to the Center for All Seasons rather than up to North Belgrade?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I
nobody
think
showed
that's a
up at North
discussion
Belgrade. I was there,
I'm sorry,
nobody showed up at North Belgrade, I was there for a year and just,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
came.
so
But
maybe,
that was during the day, and I've heard things about pulling some of those game nights in the evenings, because
We did
people
try to
are
get,
working.
people had asked about bridge a couple summers ago though. And we put it out in the newsletter, we put it out, advertised it a lot about bridge, and I had 3 people.
Yeah.
Contact me about bridge, so.
the 63 game.
Yeah. I think it is hard for people during the day, I think.
Yeah,
You think a lot of seniors would be looking for things to do.
yeah, you would.
Yeah, I think some are, but I think some are still working too. I think
Mm.
some seniors are working, because even Richard said that he wouldn't mind heading up some kind of bingo or something like that, but he's still working too. So we're all aging, we're all working. So anyway, something to think about for the future.
Mhm.
our whole goal was when we wanted to send people up to North Belgrade to give that, and it seems like everybody wants to be down here now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a group up there that if programming was consistent, that maybe you get that participation, but it's about providing consistent programming, so. I know the movie thing was starting to go pretty good, and we had a few people, but then we didn't have volunteers so. Anyway, I want to talk to Kristen about it and see what we can do to put our heads together to, maybe provide some programming for seniors that is cost-free or, in both places. And if somebody else would like to join me, you're more than welcome to. Another meeting during the month, but Still looking for somebody to co-chair meetings.
When is my term up, you know?
Thought you were
I
gonna
don't
go,
know,
Jim.
I would have to go pull.
I'd like to know this,
My turn.
we're going away winters again, so.
I think Kathy,
Yeah,
Kathy would
I'll
do
have
that,
to
yeah.
look, I'll have to look, because I don't know, I don't have my list right here. All right, throw in
Mary?
the co-chair thing
I
now,
bet Kathy would do it.
and Kathy pointed her finger to Kim.
If she doesn't show up to a meeting, then we
We get a
nominate her, huh?
No, I
Let's
think,
nominate her.
I bet she would do it. I really do. Like I said,
She may,
she's not here because she's with her granddaughter, but I
Right.
bet she would do it.
right. And, so, and that's goes on to my next thing. Meeting dates for summer months, proposal from me, no meetings for July and August. Summer is short. And, you know, we're all busy, we all like to do things. So I'm gonna propose that no meetings until September. How does everybody feel about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Well, Kim mentioned the Reedfield group over there, they don't meet. in
They,
summer.
they don't meet in July and August either.
Yeah.
No.
The only thing I would think about is, what are we planning for, you know, September
Yeah.
and beyond, whether we, because if we wait till September to meet, then we can't plan anything. for
That's what I was gonna say. If we do it, I think we need to come in September prepared for
Right.
what our programs are gonna be.
So let's send over some suggestions, because I don't mind, you know, if you send over some things, I can put something together. But I know that sometimes in the summertime that we've had a lack of participation from people. And so,
Do they still, does the, rec center still take people to the Freiburg Fair? Do they still, or is that the fall?
yeah, they still, yeah, I think it's October, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it
okay, yeah,
October?
okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing, let's give it some thought, I've had a few people from the bus trip and they said we really enjoyed the trip to Fort Knox last year and going up the,
Observation.
observation tower and then, you know, just going and doing a little shopping, but do we wanna make it more of a foliage trip and take people up towards Greenville or
That's a long trip.
Rangeley?
Yeah, that Rangeley trip, people like that.
People did
People
like-
did like that a lot,
The
actually.
Rangeley
Yeah.
trip, they
And
went
that's,
to.
that's such a pretty
The
area.
museum up there was wonderful.
You got
Oh,
the-
yeah, that's right, cause you went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a nice museum up there in
Yeah.
Quasic.
Yeah, I heard a lot of positive things about that trip.
You got the
Yeah.
Highlands up there. It's very pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Height the land.
Height land.
Yeah, the height of the land,
Yeah,
that's a
Quasic.
beautiful observation. And what's the other place that
And
And
that
we-
restaurant was good that we ate there. In Rangeley. Were you?
The restaurant?
I didn't go in that one.
Yeah.
No.
yeah. I
But
think
you know,
so.
the foliage,
So I was trying to think what the restaurant was.
can't
Was it
remember the
right
name of it,
in downtown?
was it the
Yeah,
red
Or was
onion?
it up in Oquasit?
No,
Red
it's right
Onion.
downtown.
Red Onion, probably.
Or I bet it's the one before. Was it a white building with a white porch?
I can't remember.
But you know,
Trenton, Maine, or what, no, it's not Trenton, Maine, what's it, it's right there on the, right on the,
Right in the main drag. As you're
right,
coming,
right as you're going into where the boat landing is, right on
Yeah,
the corner of that.
but you know, when you think about like going
Yeah.
back to Rangeley, you know, the foliage is always different every year.
It
You
is.
know, so
You have better.
just taking it in, no matter if you go
Yeah.
back there, it's still
Oh, it's
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And we used to do that, Kim, remember, we used to do that, that trip back when we were on Board of Parks and Rec over here. In the olden years.
We went down there,
Oh,
that was in the, yeah, when it was you and I, and for a while it was me, I was the whole committee.
oh my gosh.
Really?
With the whole committee, I came in and met with the town manager every month or something and.
Yeah.
Planned things. We went in the spring, cause we went to, the sugar
The
house.
sugar, the
Yeah.
sugar house in the spring.
Yeah.
Where's
over
that?
to Jilson's over towards Sabatis.
Towards where?
Jilson's, Sabatis.
Oh, no, never
It's
heard.
over that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another.
And one of those trips we went, the galas performed for
Oh, yeah.
everybody. They were down there.
And that was-
What's the sugar house?
but
What is the sugar house?
It's the maple.
it's a
syrup,
maple, so it's a maple,
Oh,
Yeah,
processing, maple
Yeah.
sugar processing.
yeah,
And they do a meal and they do,
whole
you know,
meal.
Oh,
the
Yeah.
dollars are there playing music and,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, and maybe talk, think about movie Mondays again and how we get that.
Well, I still, cause I still have a different thought for the way we should be taking this committee, so. I mean, I think that the social piece is good,
Mhm.
because people need social, but I'd like to do these other things, like. We've talked about, you know, neighbors helping neighbors, where we have a handyman and, you know, kind of thing that. Someone can say, you know, can someone help me take my screen windows out, you know, off. I'd like to do something like that, I'd like to do. Something where we had talked to the health center and then it didn't go anywhere, but we were gonna do a call tree for people that just needed a check-in call. And I had talked with someone at the health center and she was interested and then we just didn't. We had tried to do it on our own. Where we had asked people to sign up at elections and stuff if they were interested in. I think we really need the health center behind us to
And we
to
have that,
say to patients. You know, hey, we get this program and you can get a call, somebody, you know, we'd never have to go. So they wouldn't have to worry about, you know, someone coming into the house.
right,
It would just be a call, and if we didn't get an answer, they didn't call back, then, you know, we could send someone for a wellness check. or
and we
whatever.
have the same thing that. Kathy is doing
the
now.
buckets, yeah.
The
sand
buckets, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good program, that
Yeah.
actually went- that's been going.
So those are the kind of things that I
I
was
know,
thinking
I would
about.
like to see.
And
us
then
get
I,
into
and
more
the other
of
thing, and I believe, and this is long term, but I believe our comprehensive plan had some. Planning around some senior housing or senior apartments or something,
That's very long,
cause I think that's, but I think that's.
and that's
important.
actually,
I mean, people are, Gail Barreca, you know, she can't do her own yard work anymore, and she's not doing much gardening anymore, cause she can't do it and stuff,
Right.
but, you know, and that's what
And-
she
and-
said, I'd like to stay in the area. But I wanna
there's
be in,
nothing here
I
that's
wanna be in an
affordable.
apartment or something,
Right.
you know, a
And
senior
on
housing.
the, on the surveys, senior surveys, a lot of people want to be able to stay in this area.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And they
Yeah.
couldn't stay by themselves.
Well, you
And that's
know,
something that's beyond, I think, our capability here, but except to make noise, maybe.
well, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, you know, it's in the comprehensive plan, and yeah, it's long-term. But maybe I need to start going to planning meetings or something and.
well, you
So
know,
putting the bug in people's ear, I don't know.
years
but-
ago, I asked Tom Kenny. I said, you know, there are people in Belgrade, when they get older, they would love to stay here.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know why you carpenters get a plot of land and build something so that it's conducive for us condos to stay in. And nobody bid. I
I
asked,
also thought of that same thing with Tyler Evans, cause
Yeah,
he's building all those
I
houses
got
up
hired to
there.
approach Tyler
And,
about that.
'cause
and
I
He
thought-
liked the idea,
Mhm.
however, he has a family. He's making money
Mhm.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of, and I told him, because, right, there are a lot of grant opportunities out there for senior housing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just takes somebody with some time to
Yeah.
research those.
Mhm.
But, and, you know, and I've approached, Mike Hammond a couple of times about Donnie's building down here, cause I see that as a building that's, could be multi-use with, apartments upstairs.
Where's that?
What was the
The
old
lumber
envelope?
building down here on 27 used to be the envelope.
The
company.
envelope place?
Oh, yeah,
printing
yeah,
place?
okay, yep,
You
yep.
know, that could be, you could have so many different things
Mhm.
going on in that building, so, yeah, Mike says, well, I don't own it, so.
No, but
So-
you know, I know a lot.
Donnie,
Donnie Hammond?
yeah, Donnie owns that building, but it's just sitting there.
Well,
And
did
it's
John
just
Stewart
such a
own it
crime.
before him?
He did.
He-
No, there's been several people that have owned it.
Yeah, but
Right.
John Stewart did the,
Did the original.
He's the
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
had the original
Yeah.
printing.
right, yeah,
It was his daughter,
Right.
Suzanne.
yeah, Suzanne, yeah.
He owned it and Suzanne was running it, but.
But you know, I know a lot of women, Marilyn Chapu, she left and she has a condo in Waterville and I mean, she's been a Belgrade resident for years.
It was,
But-
I know people too, and they,
There's
you know,
nowhere to
they
go.
just can't keep up their house anymore, and they wanna stay in the area, and, yeah.
That's gonna be me.
Yeah, well, I hire somebody to mow my lawn and help me out. I'm 78, I can't do it anymore, so.
I'm 77 and
So-
I'll be 78. And if something happened to
It's-
Barry.
yeah,
I'll be
we-
close.
So it takes
We
time.
burn wood
and
still, and every
planning.
year we're like, how much longer are
I
we gonna
know.
do this?
Yeah,
And it was actually, got put into the comprehensive plan, because I reached out to the chairperson, and I said I wanted them to consider this. I did go to that meeting, but it was about the senior housing. And there was a state statute, and so that did get put into the comprehensive plan.
When
But
do
the
they
comp
meet?
plan-
Who's the leader?
So the comprehensive plan has been on hold for a little bit, and I think Barbara, Carol. And maybe Lorna have been working on it, and they were working on it with Granier from KV Cog. And I don't know when it's going to go. It's
Okay.
ready to go.
I'm gonna
to
call
vote
Carol.
Because we have to go every 10 years in order to keep our status to be considered for.
I think I will reach out to the selectmen and just ask them if, you know, what the plan is, and, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I am so far removed. When you come out of my road, you go to the left, right, I'm in Oakland. And I'm so far removed from Belgrade. I wanna be back this way, but, I can't afford anything
Are
this
you
way.
on Ambrose Cove?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, you
no,
know,
you're not down on the Hagan Road anymore.
oh, I had to sell that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, that was very emotional.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, but I would
Are
love
you on the
to,
lake, Miss Lansky down there?
no,
No.
they didn't give us the right of way. Yeah.
So to get back to the summer, I have to go, so.
Yeah, I know you
Um,
do, so.
To get back to the summer meetings, I'm okay either way, but I think if we're not gonna meet, we need to come in September with ideas.
A little bit earlier than the fourth
With
Monday.
what we're doing.
Should we, through July and
Email.
August, send her
Email?
ideas?
I was
so
gonna say, we
we'll
could do
come
an
to the full-
email
I will
meeting.
share
if we-
that with everybody.
Yeah.
Full agenda,
Right.
right, on September.
So it'd be nice though if you CC people, so like if I send them something with everybody's names in it, even people are on it, on the emails that aren't even part, hoping to encourage them to maybe participate on some level. Like it still goes to Christine Peatfield, it goes to Tasha Stevens.
Yeah, it goes to the woman that never came, she came one time, Sydney Gates. I think she's on the,
She's not well. She's not well.
I was gonna say, I think she gets the emails,
Right,
so, yeah.
right, she's not well, so that's why she wanted
Yeah.
to stay connected in a small way.
Yeah.
And she said when she is well, she will come, so I included her.
But you know, if we could do, there may be someone like Sydney that if we could do a call tree.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have to do anything but call somebody, just check, do welfare check on them, say, you know, is everything okay? Do you need anything, whatever, but. We had a woman that did that to my mother that would call.
Yeah.
Well, she came down and gave my mother her medication anyways, but she lived nearby. And she would call, and if my mother didn't answer, she'd say, if you don't call me back by whatever, I'm coming down. You know, and she would, you know, most of the times my mother would call her back, but there were times that my mother fell or whatever. And she would show up at the house just to make sure that, everything was okay.
But how do you get into their houses?
What's
How
that?
do you get into the house?
Well, I'm not suggesting that we as a committee
No,
go
we're
into
not
people's
going to
house.
people's homes.
But I think it would be that,
becomes a
I mean, in this case, we had an arrangement with her that she came and did my mother's medicine anyway, so she could get into the house, but.
And you know, I've counted the widows on just on my road.
There's a lot,
There's Jessie Nettle.
Yeah.
And
Jane.
Jane and Audrey and Mrs. Bishop.
And Bobby, Bobby Rose.
Bobby Rose
Yeah,
wife,
she's right there around the corner.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I know there's more than that,
Yeah.
I counted them up, and I'm like, wow, and
Yeah.
they could use a hand.
Yeah.
Mary
do
does
deliver.
Audrey's
Yeah,
rubbish and Jesse Meadows, and Jesse looked at, did that sand
yeah,
bucket, but she can't even mow her lawn anymore.
I know, she had to hire it out.
Well, the guy that's renting her
Oh,
house,
he's doing it.
and you know, he's a chef too. And he said to her one day, he said, I'm gonna make you dinner,
Oh.
and he made stuffed pork chops.
Isn't that nice?
They were, he's a chef, and she said they were asparagus and ham wrapped up and stuffed in these pork chops with whatever else he made to go with it. And he brought it to her, and she looked at it, and she goes, that's more than I eat in a week. He says, eat what you can, put the rest in the
That's
refrigerator.
what he
He's
said,
got his own
yeah.
business, and he has about 23, 24 people doing yard work around the state.
Nice.
And he's so good to her, but how many people would be that fortunate?
I know. And
Well,
it's
there's
much,
a lot of people in town. I mean, for a while, we were picking up the Smith's trash, because they couldn't get to, you know, so we were right on the same road, we'd pick up the trash.
Yeah.
After the cookie swap, well, the Christmas party, I took them a tray of cookies and, plate of cookies, and I had to walk over snow to get, I mean, nothing had been shoveled at all. And I said to her, I said, do you have a shovel? She said, I'd like, I mean, if they ever needed to get a rescue in there, they couldn't have done it. There was, you know, snow on the ramp, up the stairs, and I walked over snow to get into her house. So, you know, I cleared her steps and stuff, but, she wasn't gonna ask anyone to do it.
and there's a lot of good people out there that have that same mentality, they're not gonna ask
Yeah.
somebody, so it's. Just observing those people when they, like, we see them all the time when they come in through the office.
Yeah.
And you can tell who needs help
Yeah.
and. Eric, you're
Yeah,
so
anything to
quiet
say?
over there.
I've just
Got
got to
anything
turn to
add?
Eric. What do you
I
say?
have a suggestion.
Oh.
What is it?
I'm also on the board of the Belgrade Region Health Center. And it's been around for a long time now, but we rent it out to Health Reach. Pay us, and over the last 20 years, we've built up. And we pay all the expenses, you know, electricity and all that, but we built up quite an endowment from that rent. And so we're thinking of building on the property because it's big enough, a wellness center.
Oh, nice.
And I think it would be very useful if someone from the board, or one or two people. Came to one of our board meetings and expressed what the senior citizens would like. And they've talked about that, but there's only myself and another board member who would be qualified as octogenarians. And there's no one in their 70s or 60s, everyone else is
Yeah,
still working age, and I don't think they really I mean, they understand what younger people want for activity, but I think it's important that because it's gonna be a wellness center, not a gym, that they understand what older people need.
Mm.
Like people with arthritis need a therapy pool that's good for them and
Yeah.
things like that.
yeah,
So I would like to make a proposal that one or two members be in. I could arrange for that to be invited, and the other person was my old, Polly Beatty, who has a lot of influence, although she resigned as president because, but she would be very, and she would,
Polly's great.
yeah, she would insist that this would be a great idea.
Well, we
But I
did
think the
do a
others would
survey.
too.
that-
So
that
think
every-
about it and think about what you would want, and one or two of you can come and speak to our board and maybe in the
Yeah, we
fall,
did do a
September.
survey, a senior survey that Betty compiled everything,
Yeah.
and
and we
there
still,
were
we
things
have
that they
more.
said, a chair, Tai Chi, and there were things that they wanted, yeah.
We have more too that have come in, so it still sits out there, I leave it in the hallway. We have people that come in, bless you.
When do you meet?
And fill.
We
out
meet
the survey, so-
on the third Wednesday of every month, or the first, it's a Wednesday, but they would do it maybe in the fall.
Yeah,
We won't do it
yeah,
over the
that's
summer.
what,
So you can think about it, nominate one or two people to
Yeah.
come who are articulate and
And where is this? at?
They would be willing, they
Right
would,
at the
they're
health
open to
center?
listening, yeah.
Right at the health center?
Uh,
Is that where you meet at the? health center?
yeah, we have a conference room, and so, we meet in the conference room.
What time do you usually meet?
We usually meet, it's on Wednesdays, and that's at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6. And you would be the first people, and, you know, one can come, but it might be better, two of you come back and go. I would say the whole board could come, the room, fit more than 2 guests.
Now, you said the health center has reached out to the Health Reach.
Well, they rent it from us.
Just let me know
Oh,
if
they
you decide
rent
about
it
summer
from you.
meetings.
The health center board was
Five.
created and raised some
five.
money. And we just get to rent from Health Reach. We do not interfere in any way with what they do.
But they rent the building from you.
Yeah, they rent the
Okay.
building from us. And we might do the same with the wellness center, find someone who's willing to be in charge of it and although I don't know if they would rent it, we haven't figured all that out yet.
Yeah,
We're really in the planning stages of what to do, but most of the younger members are interested in things that healthy people in their 35, 50 do. And I think senior citizens they need that too, but they're not up to jogging and doing.
No,
Not everybody's at the pickleball
Yeah,
either, because
right.
that,
And
that
it would be-
sport is.
And they would be very open to that perspective
Right.
and maybe that would be good.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Eric. Yeah, and
And,
maybe,
So
If you
at our
wanna
next
arrange something
meeting,
for the fall?
In July, it'll be, what it was Wednesday in July, I will say that I will tell them that the senior resource committee would like to meet and discuss it and make them aware of how well, that would be so welcome with senior citizens, because we have a lot of them in Belgrade.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
Belgrade is a
and
big community.
and
It
and
is.
what specific needs would be useful for the different types of ailments that affects us in
Mhm.
Senior years.
You said the fourth Wednesday in
I
July?
think I know that my colleague Polly Beatty, it would be. She and I talked about it, and she thought that would be a great idea, because they're wonderful people, but some of them are working, they're all working.
Right, yeah.
They're 55, and they're active, and they don't necessarily know that,
How much else? will
and
they
then they want it to be a wellness center and not a gym, but
right,
the wellness centers are really older people would use them more than they would
Yeah.
use gyms. I find,
And-
I used to go to the gym, but I don't, all those younger people, they can do things that I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's so
So
fun.
who would run that?
Pardon?
Who would run that wellness center?
the
Pardon?
health, probably.
Who would,
health
the health center would run the wellness center?
We would rent it out to somebody.
I see.
Yeah, we would own it, but we would rent it out, like we're renting this out. We would probably rent it to someone, and he could maybe, whatever fees he charged would be, the salary, we're not gonna pay the salary.
Yeah.
We can fix it the way, I mean, that's what we do with Health Reach.
Mhm.
They give us a monthly rent and, but we take care of all the expenses, the heating and the electricity from that rent.
Right,
But still, we get pumped it up and we built up an income and we feel, well, we shouldn't have all this money. How can we benefit the community? And it seemed that the wellness center would be a good, and there's plenty of room on the property that we purchased to add a wellness center. So,
Sounds
Nice,
great.
yeah, does, it sounds like a great idea,
Mm, I think so.
yeah.
Get that, get some senior
I
housing.
mean, it would be for the whole community, but I think it's important that the senior citizens
Right,
have an
yeah,
input
yeah.
for because they have special needs, and wellness it's not, we don't see it as a gym, we see it as wellness.
Mhm.
And, but there are younger people also sometimes have to have.
Sure,
their
right,
own
yep.
stuff.
It's a good idea.
Okay,
Mm.
All right, does anybody have anything?
So
else?
I'll arrange it maybe for September or October. You can,
Yeah.
doesn't have to be
And we
Yeah.
can
the
nominate.
first Wednesday in September of
Yeah.
October.
Mhm.
A couple of you can come,
Sure,
That'd be great.
and you can
Yeah.
meet before and say what you
and
want. to
maybe
do.
come up with some ideas too, of, you
Yeah.
know, things that we would want cohesively in that wellness center and send some of those ideas. So we can compile a list of, you know, what would be ideal things. That we would want to see offered.
They have one up in Rangeley with it, which is very nice.
Oh,
And
really?
it's used by the whole community, but they have all these special things for older.
The health center does,
Yeah.
the health center has it,
So we have an idea of
yeah.
how we can do it a little bit. That's the only one I know about.
Yeah,
We don't
what's it
want a
called?
regular gym because they're for younger people.
Right.
Who do things that people my age can't do anymore.
Yeah, no, it's true, yes.
What's
Is
it
it-
called?
Pardon?
What's it called, Eric? Is it just the Rangeley Health Center or?
It would be called the Wellness Center. It'll be part of,
But it's in Rangeley?
that's the Belgrade Regional Health Center, maybe we'll call it the Belgrade Regional Wellness Center.
No, I
What is
mean the
Rangeley?
one in Rangeley.
Oh, Wednesday, we meet the first Wednesday of every month.
No, what is the name of the center in Rangeley? The wellness
What's the name
center.
of that?
What's the name of the wellness center in Rangeley?
Oh,
I just wanted to Google it.
it's a Rangeley, it's a Rangeley Health and Gymnasium.
Okay.
Yeah,
We should be able to find it.
It's
We're not gonna
also a
put
gym, but they have money, you know what they do in Rangeley? They put on these concerts and they get all these famous people, and
Yeah.
that's how they got the money to build it. But it has stuff for senior citizens as well for everybody else. And we'll probably have some things that younger people can use, but we wanna focus on the things that would be useful for older citizens.
It's a good idea,
Well,
it's a good idea.
Mm,
because the younger people can go to Augusta and Waterville, the gyms.
Yeah, yeah.
So like stationary bicycles, and there's all kinds of interesting stuff for younger people can use it too, of course, but but we're sort of focusing on the older ones, what their needs would be. and how they
Have to
would
have
do
an
it.
age limit, 65 and older. Or 55, whatever.
Jeannie Hammond had that thing at her.
Jeannie had one, and they used to, her and Ray used to let people go over there and
But
work
I
out.
don't think it's there anymore, is it? Or
I
is it-
have no idea. I can't think if it's a card, Petty Card and Richard Card, and they own that Jeannie's old home now.
Richard Card?
Richard Card, yeah. And Heidi Card.
Oh,
They had a whole gymnasium over
Yeah.
there. They used to allow the fire department to go over there and work
Yeah.
out, so
wonder if we could connect it
I don't know.
somehow with the
I
health
don't know.
center.
I could ask, I see Richard once in a while in here. I don't really know him personally.
Dick Card, he was on the planning board or the appeals board.
No, that was Dick Bourne,
How do I know Dick Card? I know him.
yeah.
Can't think.
But Jeannie would let people go in anytime.
Yeah.
She
For
was,
free,
Yeah,
yeah.
wow. Alrighty,
You want to put a date down for our September meeting or?
I think September, right?
yeah. Do we wanna maybe try to shoot for, I'll have to look at the dates. Is there a holiday? Is there,
Well, Labor Day is the
Which
1st of September,
is the first?
1st.
What's on the second week of September, what date? is-
September 8th.
September 8th, maybe we can throw that out there, so get going a little bit earlier if we want to do some kind of foliage trip. 'Cause
What day does the 8th come on?
Monday,
Monday.
yeah, we'll stick with Mondays.
The 3rd week would be 15th.
the foliage strip wouldn't be till 1st of October, would it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, and actually the 1st of October, it's usually the Freiburg Fair, so it might even go a little bit later, so that's,
Hmm,
we'll have to take a look at that date too.
cause the foliage really isn't much in September,
Yeah, no, it isn't.
yeah.
And I think people would be okay to go back to Rangeley.
Yeah.
They had such, and like I said, the foliage changes all the
All
time,
the time,
and
yeah.
Rangeley's a nice place to walk around, it's,
Barry and I have
Yeah.
gone every year.
yeah,
We take a day, even when we were working, we took a day
Yeah.
just to do that
Yeah.
in Rangeley and Apothic and,
Mhm.
well, I've got quite a bit of. I got
Nice
some.
to
Well, good,
see you,
mine
Eric.
will correlate with yours.
Eric, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I
Yeah.
just wanted to.
That was good information you passed on.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, I think it's, would be valuable to